So I haven't done an economic update for a few weeks, so I thought it would be a good thing to just kind of quickly go over some of those things. I have a bunch of other things I'll want to talk about in this video, but the title of the video is about economic update, so that's what we're going to do right off the bat to get that out of the way. So 2x4 8s have gone up about 2% in the past week. They went up from $3.17 to like $3.25. Not a big increase. It's like 8 cents, but it still is still $1.25 higher than it was pre-pandemic. Hate to even call it that, but it was before this all started going on. 5/8 CDX plywood is at $31.47 per sheet. That's been flat for almost a month now. It dropped from that $82 ridiculous amount down to a $31.47 crazy amount. It should still be down around $20 a sheet or less, in my opinion. But that's not what it's doing. And as a builder, I have to keep buying stuff. That's the way it goes, you know. One other thing, just, well, hold on. Metal roofing, still way high. There was a shortage, or you couldn't even get black metal roofing. Now it's available, just takes a while to get it. Garage doors are up this year about $200 from a 9x7 used to be around $600. It's up around $800 now. And from what they're saying, and it's a long lead time, 8-10 weeks now to get those, which is another problem. Fortunately, I think we have enough doors for all of our jobs for this year in stock because we bought ahead. Concrete, I don't know how they did it, but they didn't go up this year. Maybe, I think they went up $2 a yard, something like that, but they go up every year systematically, $2 a yard, $3 a yard, somewhere in there. And they keep the price the same. Sometimes it's hard to get the concrete because they're having troubles getting drivers. But I called in an order on a Monday. They had one opening left that week, and that was at 1 in the afternoon, which was this week. We poured it at 1 in the afternoon. It was headlights that we were doing to finish power troweling. I probably should have had an accelerator put into that, but I didn't. But anyway, concrete's pretty stable. I'm happy about that. Before I move on to the next topic, my hat. It's pretty crusty. This is going in the wash, so I've got a backup hat to wear until that one gets washed, dried, pressed, ironed, or whatever you do with it. This it's a house that we're building now is actually it was based on a garage package with the monolithic floating slab as a base. They're doing T111. So whenever you do T111 and it's going to be a heated space, you need a vapor moisture barrier between the living space and the wall sheathing. The T111 is the finished wall sheathing, so it has to go against the studs. Structurally, that's not a problem. It's a moisture break that you need for air infiltration as well at the T111 joints, because they're 4 feet wide. They overlap each other, so it's pretty good, pretty tight. But that moisture vapor barrier house wrap really does the job there. So that's why we did that. Another question has been, anytime we do you know what? I lost my whiteboard. I don't know where it went. So we're using, this is just coil stock. It works just as well. There was a question about the rafters, the way we do them. A lot of people use a ridge pole and then they bring the rafters up to it. That's a lot of work, first of all, to get the ridge pole up there. It's heavy. And we did a job 15 years ago. We're up on ladders step ladders, and the guy was bent over backwards, almost ready to fall. He actually started to fall. One of us caught it, but it could have easily been a broken back situation. So for safety, that's why we do it this way. We make, I prefer to call it like an A-frame truss. So if you look at, we'll say here's a wall, the upstairs floor and a wall. We cut a bird's mouth in the rafter right here so that it creates an overhang. We cut this all ahead of time. And it comes down. Not very good artist. Even though I've been called Bob Ross, the Bob Ross of carpentry. Cracks me up. So another bird's mouth here. And that sets in several inches, just not to scale. It's terrible, sorry. These are 2x10s. On this particular job, they're 24 feet long. So it's a long run up through there. So it's nailed real well all the way around here. We also put in a 4-foot knee wall. That's really nice. A knee wall, both sides, like that. We use 5/8 CDX plywood gussets, and those are nailed both sides of the rafter. Hope you can see that okay. We also run a collar tie across here. That represents the ceiling that they'll have. It's just really strong. Typically, before we put these knee walls in, we'll run 1 or 2 courses of plywood on both sides to stabilize it. Then we put the knee walls in. But before we do the knee walls, you can pull on these rafters, and it's just a lot of play. It's only secured up here. There's no collar tie. We put in those knee walls and that collar tie, and you cannot move those rafters. They're solid. So that's how we do that. That's why we do that. What else we got? Green screen. You can see the green right here. It's kind of like a cotton cloth sheet. It's 8 feet high, 20 feet wide. When we do, you've seen some of my sign-offs at the end of please subscribe, leave a comment, blah, 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 stuff like that. I'll have that down, and you have to be sure that you don't wear anything that same color green. This is okay. And you can stand back there, and then in the editing software, you can put that on one of the tracks to go along with one of the with whatever you want for a background. You blend those together, and then there's a command you can use to basically make the green screen disappear, but you stay there because you're not green. It blocks it out somehow. Works really well. I'm learning a lot about how to do that. Another thing, this is just a hodgepodge of things that I kind of wanted to talk about. The drone. I bought a drone. I did a quick video about that. It's going back. It's going back this afternoon. You're supposed to use your phone, so it's got the controller. When you can get the visual to work, it lags behind. So if you hit rotate left and you're watching on the screen, you hit left and it's half a second, and then the screen shows the change. Meanwhile, I mean, if you're trying to fly, it's behind a half a second all the time, so you don't really have a good sense of where you're going, where you are, if you're going to run into something. My previous drone, there was no time delay. It was right on. So it's going back. We'll look for another brand. If you guys, folks, have any input as to a good brand of drone to buy, I'd appreciate it. We're looking at a couple different ones, trying to figure out which one would be best. The one I had before didn't have the option for the camera to turn down and look down. I had a beautiful shot of Chad power troweling the concrete with this new drone. I saw the footage for a minute, but then it shut off on its own. I can't find it anywhere. So out of frustration, I'm sending it back. Speaking of Chad, he had an idea, tongue in cheek. He says, you ought to have an employee of the year. So we're going to put it out there for vote. Who's the employee of the year? Of course, yes, Chad's the only full-time employee. So if you want to vote for Chad, go ahead and vote. I'll see how many clicks we get for Chad. I have 3 part-timers. Dan, he also works on a farm, helping a farmer haying and whatnot. And he's been required, they've demanded more of his time than we thought he would as well, but that's fine. So also another fellow, Josh, he's been great. He helps out a day or two here, and then Fred has been helping out a day or two here and there. I don't know if I want to really pick a favorite for those. They're all good. They all have their special talents. Garage prices. I've not lowered my prices yet from where they were probably a month and a half ago. The materials had started coming, wood and plywood had started coming back down, but as that went down, other products were going up. The metal and vinyl products were going up, as well as availability. So it's been sort of a wash at this point. So I don't really see that it's going to be next spring before I think that I'll be able to lower my prices at all, until I see what sugar's off here, see how that goes. So I think that's the only thing I've got. All this, it's quite an odd compilation of stuff. Today was a rainy day, so we ended up trucking materials. We moved a garage, all the walls, and some other products to a job site that we're going to be doing. And we moved about $6,000 worth of material to the current job that we're doing. So we've got so much room outside. It's just so exciting to be able to back in without worrying about hitting something. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, make a comment, tap the bell. Thank you very much. Have a good day.